we're back. We took a little hiatus and went on some trips, but it's nice to be back on the Rake. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I feel like it's been a while since we've been here, though it hasn't, but it feels like a minute. But we've been doing a lot. We've both been out of Vegas a ton. Been playing actually a lot of poker, both of us. You said you hadn't played much poker in 2020, but you've been playing a lot.
Like the last week or two I have, yeah.
Before we get into what we've been doing, we've had some people reach out to us about a episode. I think 2 episodes ago we had Mike Del Vecchio on, talk about many things, and then we talked about the bike live stream, which has been a topic of discussion from viewers, and just wanted to kind of briefly address that here. For those of you who don't know, Live at the Bike is a live stream poker game in the Bicycle Casino in LA. Runs every week, high stakes, low stakes. A lot of big names are on there, and it's kind of like a really popular stream. And there was kind of like a little bit of wondering about how it works, and Mike had made some kind of claims and points about the game we just wanted to clear up. But I personally have put in there a ton, and Jamie, not so much. Have you put in there?
I haven't played, no.
Oh, not at all. Okay.
Well, I used to be East Coaster, so it's like a big ask to be like, you fly all the way across the country.
Well, we need to get you on there because it's it's really fun. So I put in there a lot, so obviously I have a decent experience. I put in there a lot too before I started my vlog as well. So kind of when I was, I don't want to say lesser known, but I was kind of like a random grinder. And yeah, I think that, it is definitely not a private game. It's definitely as a list, and they go by the list pretty religiously. And of course, if you do have a following, or if you are a super crazy action player, they're probably gonna give you priority. But private games work in a much more controlled way, and I think that if you are looking to get on the show or have thought about doing it, you should definitely pursue that. And I would say, as someone who's played on there a lot, that it is open. And so as long as you call ahead and talk to one of the game runners and go in with the mindset you want to have a little bit of fun. It is a televised game. They don't want headphones and sunglasses, which we all know bad for poker. But just wanted to clear that up. People have been asking, and we actually did speak to Wayne and some people over at the bike and clarified that. But
I heard also from a man named Mac for Standing that if you dress in drag, you have a better chance of getting a seat.
Yes.
That may or may not be true.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Should we get the picture up there again?
Picture. Sorry, Mac. Mac played in a wonderful.
Yeah, he was the Queen of Hearts for Halloween, and I'll never unsee that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the bike, I'm going to be there this week playing a bunch. When this airs, 6 p.m. Pacific time, if you want to tune in. I'm really excited about that. I'm playing in a 5-5-50 big blind ante game.
Ooh, that's the one. I think Mike wanted to play in that one. He went on the wrong day, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I played it once a while ago, but I have little experience with big blind ante and cash games, and especially one that big, because it's such a...
That has to change everything.
Yeah.
Do people limp a lot? You
yeah.
have to limp a lot. Yeah, because there's so much dead money. It's very hard to fold any hands.
Yeah, so it's kind of, I don't want to say similar to short deck, but it kind of mimics it a little bit.
Strategy is similar.
Because you know what I mean? You're doing a lot of limping, especially in early position probably. And with the ante, I don't know, it just changes short decks play with an ante. So I'm not saying it's the same, but a little bit similar. I tried to run it by a couple short deck people, what they would do, but it'll be a good experience. I think it's a fun lineup. And then just some other regularly scheduled program while I'm there. But I will probably be playing a lot of poker, so keep a lookout for that.
Mm-hmm. And I had to ask you, since the reason, I think we still were posting at the same time, but we stockpiled 2 of them, 2 episodes. We hadn't seen each other in a while, and I didn't actually get to hear about your last Spraggy trip.
Oh yeah. So I just got back from the UK a week ago to see Spraggy. We had a great trip. We what did we do? He did a lot of streaming. I was a guest in his stream, as I like to be. Something else I did. I did some commentary for Run It once while I was there, which was nice because I actually got to see every hand and just kind of like really get like I had a really good co-commentator too, Henry Kilbane. I'm butchering that, but he's like a PLO expert, so he helped me out. And it was really cool it wasn't cool that Phil got crushed. It was actually like his last session before he decided to take a little break.
Can you talk about that a little bit? Because we were kind of gone for that. And I was just reading about it online a little bit. And it seemed like he's paying €3,000 a day to take a break.
Yeah. I think he just felt... Honestly, I saw the last session, obviously, and I don't
You did the commentary in the last session?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it your fault?
Yeah.
You think?
Exactly.
Okay.
I brought the run bad. I honestly, I just had some voodoo. I had a little doll. But, no, he wasn't particularly punting. There were a couple big hands that he got boat over boated, set over set, and just kind of got stacked. He lost a huge pot where I believe he turned the nuts, and Vinny Vidi had just a flush draw and a gut shot to a higher straight with one card to come and just drilled it for like a huge, massive pot. And so he lost a couple of huge pots like that kind of just like changed the trajectory of the session. But again, it didn't seem like he was, from what I could tell, punting or like doing anything crazy.
I don't think Phil really punts. I think
he did the statement that he felt like he said that he felt
like he wasn't
towards the
playing
end
well.
he was, I don't know, I forget the word he used, but like maybe being emotional or something.
Yeah, he made that one post that I really liked because it wasn't like, oh, I don't care and I started drinking and punting or something like that.
Yeah.
He's just saying certain plays feel emotionally better than others when you're stuck. And sometimes it's like the higher variance play because you feel like, okay, if I can at least get into a big pot, then like I can win a big pot. So let's just try to get a big pot. And like emotionally that feels good. And I've been there when you're like, it's 4 a.m. and you really want to get unstuck. So you just take like a higher variance line, or you just like try to, stick more chips in the pot that you really shouldn't. And I think that's what he means, but I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know that he was doing that. Again, I don't know. But so I think he's just stepping away, but it was really cool to do that. I have minimal experience, way less experience than you commentating. So,
but I think I'm supposed to do it as well. I was actually supposed to do it the next week and it was like put on hold.
Yeah.
But I'm terrified of commentating PLO. I'm like, I'm there. I'm going to be like talking to Twitch chat. Like, what's up, guys? Any of you guys watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have a whole lot of advanced PLO analysis to offer the poker world. But I will try to make it fun and, just sweat.
I tried to play the role of like the kind of the noob. I literally asked Henry like early on, I was like, what is a rap?
That's not bad though. I'm like, a lot of the people who are watching
wondering,
probably follow, a lot of people play poker are mostly no limit people still. And now there's like a lot more short deck and a lot more PLO players. But I don't think that's that stupid of a question, especially if you have 2,000 or 3,000 people watching. There's at least a few hundred people who are like, thank you for asking. They keep saying rap. What the hell does that mean?
Right. And it's such I kind of vaguely knew. I still don't totally, but he gave me a pretty good explanation. And so I think just cross your fingers that you're with somebody who like...
Well, unfortunately, they're like, do you want to do it with Stapes? I was like, wow, combined, we know the rules of the game. Yeah. Like Stapes every once in a while might be like, we can just use one card, right? And I'll be like, I guess I'm fine with it.
Like, what's a wrap? He's like a sandwich or something
like
delicious.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, you want to get one? Like,
yeah,
for sure.
So that'll be interesting. But yeah.
But I did that. Didn't play any live poker this time like I did last time, but I do have a new vlog project coming out that I did a lot of filming for. I want to tease it a little bit maybe, but it'll be out. I don't want to say hard dates, but it will be out in no longer than a month. And it's kind of going to be like an ongoing series on my vlog, kind of different than anything I've done, or I don't think anybody in the community has done. So excited about that. And then also, what else did I do? We went to Bath, this old Roman bath town, and saw like all the old...
I was stalking your Instagram.
Yeah.
I love when people go on trips and they're just like, I'm like, oh, cool. I feel like I'm there. Cause you're just like, we're at this museum and we're going to like, and all the sculptures and stuff. And I don't know. It looked like a fun trip.
It was really cool. It's like an hour from where he lives. And they also have like the actions, like the hot spring is there. So they had this modern spa. Basically you can go and like you swim in like the roof with all this like natural spring water just
That's
from the
cool.
earth. I mean, it's really modern and nice. And then they have like inside they have like all kinds of saunas and steam rooms and like it's just really like really nice kind of experience. We did all that and then went to some museums and then we went to London for a day and went on like the Ferris wheel and did like the touristy thing. Didn't get corona.
That's good. Well, you think? How long have you been back for?
Well, I was nervous because so the hospital, there was 9 cases in London and the hospital that it was at, we were right by it. And when we got back, Spraggy had the worst cough. And like his throat, he's better now. So we're like, and I was so scared that I was like, go to the doctor just for peace of mind. But he's such a stubborn ass that he wouldn't go.
Yeah.
But I was shitting myself. I was shitting myself.
It's really scary. It's getting scary. We came back drunk yesterday from so I've been in San Diego for about a week.
Yeah.
I went for a RunGood gear trip and at this new casino, it's only been around a couple years as far as I know, called Jamul Casino. It's like an Indian reservation. It was beautiful and it was awesome. And the last night we were there, we come back drunk. Everyone was just drunk the whole time. I feel like I got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
And Chris just starts putting on YouTube videos about coronavirus. I'm like, what are you doing? And you know, like your drunk mind can't be like, it'll be okay. Like, you know,
at least you weren't like stoned.
Yeah.
Because I would
just be like staring at the thing like, oh no.
I don't even want to know what I'd be like stoned thinking about the coronavirus. I'd be so paranoid.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
But on a happier note, I'll talk about that trip a little bit. But, I was super happy that Chris got second in a tournament. And the only thing that makes me happier than that is that he got his ass kicked by probably a 45-year-old woman, which is just, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
He came back and I was like, yeah, you won a bunch of money. And he's like, yeah. And I got beat. And he called her the best player at his table, at the final table. He's like, yeah, she was the one I wanted to get heads up with the least, which is awesome because I feel like I never hear guys say that, like giving women in poker much credit at all. And she won a seat. Her name is Jennifer Gianera. And she won casino champ of the whole thing. So she won that tournament and then she final tabled another one. And she won a seat to the Poker Go Pro-Am event in December of next year, which I'm not sure yet, but I was like, oh, I would commentate that. And they're like, cool, the RunGood people. So I have to run it by the Poker Go people. But nice. I would love to commentate that. And I don't know, it was just really nice to see a lady win and then just have everyone say nice stuff about her too. She was really fun at the table. So we were drinking together and stuff.
Where's she from?
That's a great question.
Oh, I was just kidding.
I literally just met her. We talked about when I meet people, I'm like the worst at that because I'm always like trying not to be like annoying.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about like don't say anything stupid, and then I'm like I leave the conversation. I'm just like, okay, I got her name right, but like what did we talk about? I'm like, I don't know.
I just feel like it's kind of weird too because when a woman like is like new on the scene or like is doing well, I feel like it's kind of like a novelty in a sense where people are just like, who are you? Why are you here?
Exist? This
why
is weird.
Are you here? Like, how did you get here? You know what I mean? So you kind of feel like awkward being like, why? Because if it's like a 40-year-old or like a 35-year-old guy, like I don't know.
No,
or like
they're just like, oh, you belong here. You don't even go through those questions. With her, like we ended up talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. She was really funny. Cool. But she actually just came off winning I think it was a card player cruise, the whole cruise thing too. So she's on a heater. And then she beat my boyfriend heads up and it was just glorious.
And he was never more happy that
he was so cute. He came back and he was like, she played really great. Like she deserves to win. I was like, oh.
But they did a
chop 4 ways and then she won they made this really cool ring. I don't ever want trophies. I just don't think they're that cool. Yeah. I want this ring. It was like really heavy. It has Poker Go on one side and RunGood on the other side, and this big like gaudy purple star in the middle. And I was like, I just want it. I also met Nick Barnett there, and I got to wear his SuperBowl ring.
Oh yeah,
which like is ridiculous. It is like it's like a pound on your finger. I'll send him a picture. And it took like 80% of my finger, so it was pretty hilarious. I was hoping that like he just let me kind of like walk out with it. I'm like, see ya.
Yeah, it sounds like there was a lot of like celebs there.
Yeah, it was cool. They did that because it was the first time that RunGood's ever been to San Diego, so they made a really big deal about it. They had a big bounty tournament, and they had a bunch of like, you know, I'm like you. I told you, I'm like, oh yeah, I was wearing Barnett's ring. You're like, I don't know who that is, but your ring looks cool. Like that's how I am. Where I'm like, someone's like, this person's very famous in sports. I'm just like, nice,
cool. Yeah. Also, I I'm going to forget his name, but the Survivor, someone really
oh my
big on
God, that was
Survivor
the highlight of the whole trip.
Yeah.
Boston Rob, for any Survivor fans will know.
Boston Rob.
Yeah, he came and hung out with us, and we formed the Corona Light Alliance in case we're ever on the show.
Nice.
We're like, it runs deeper than any other alliance. Yeah, it was great. I had a great time, but literally, I'd never want to see a beer again in my whole life.
Oh, really? You're that shit-faced? Worse
every
than
day.
Reno?
You have to come on one of these trips. It's worse than Reno because there's like no, like in Reno, I'll commentate one day and I won't be drinking. Yeah. Here, it's just like while you're playing, you could be playing. First was like 40K in the main, and I was like decently deep in it, and people are still sending me shots and stuff. I'm like, no. And also, it's like 1 p.m. Like, please don't do this to me. Yeah, but you'll have fun. You should definitely come next time. Maybe we'll have a day where we just like go to the spa and just like sweat out all of the Coors Light.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Run It Up Reno because I love the spa. Have you been to the spa there and Run It Up?
No, I like every time that I commentated, I was commentating on your game, and the one like little sizzle reel they have of like the whole thing focuses so heavily on the spa, and every time I was like, I'm going there, and then every time I just don't, I like go and play poker like a D-gen instead. Yeah,
it's hard to because there's also so many like events there too that it's hard to take a whole half a day off and just do that, when there's so much going on. But it is like, when's the next event coming up? Do you know?
The Run Up Reno one?
Or RunGood.
RunGood. They have one tomorrow. These people are nuts too. They drove. Like the two people who like basically host the event, like they basically set up everything and like set up the final table and all that stuff. They left at 8 a.m. from our Airbnb. I didn't even get to say bye to them, and they drove to Joplin, Missouri. They're still driving. It's terrible. And tomorrow is like the start of the next event.
That's commitment.
So yeah, but if I were to recommend some of the RunGood stops, San Diego was awesome. That was like a vacation. Tulsa is really fun. It's at a Hard Rock, and it's like beautiful and fun.
What's the casino there? Choctaw?
Oh no, this is like, it's close to Choctaw though.
Yeah.
It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it's the Hard Rock Casino.
Oh, Hard Rock.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
It's okay. But
I thought Choctaw.
Those are my most fun ones. But we went to Kansas City for a stop during football season, and we got to see the Chiefs play the previous year, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, Kansas City in Kansas, or? Nice. I haven't been to Kansas yet.
We're just alienating half of our like audience. We're just like, oh.
Oh, no, I mean, I think everybody can agree it was silly.
Yeah.
Silly mistake. Okay, moving on. That's cool.
Yeah.
I always like, it's kind of a good mix. There's some tournament series that you can like cut the tension with a knife, and there's others that are just like,
it is such a breath of fresh air. Like there was a reason I hadn't played any live events in 2020 yet. I was just like, I don't feel like social enough to go sit at a table and like deal, like that's a bad word, but like it was like dealing with everything that comes with playing live poker. Sometimes you're just not in the mood to be talkative and all this stuff. These tournaments are so different from that. Like RunGood and Run It Up are two that I will go to all the time, because I'm like, I know even if I'm in a bad mood, I'll be in a good mood in an hour. Like you just meet really nice people.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a good mix of like good games and events, drinks,
and
celebs. Boston Rob, you.
Oh yeah, I'm super famous.
We'll be at Run It Up. We'll sign autographs, don't worry.
That's true. If anyone watches Survivor, I actually met 2 women last year who went to the they had a Survivor like tell all or whatever. You could ask them anything, a Q&A kind of thing. Yeah. And 2 women were like, oh, I'm not here for the poker tournament. And I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, oh, I'm here to hear Tyson and Rob. And cool. I was just like, that is so cute. And I'm like, well, what about poker? I'm like, why don't you come check it out? And they're like, oh, we'll come see the room afterwards. But I'm like, oh my God, I just got to get him in a sit and go. I'm like, we just have to get him in one tournament and they'll be hooked. But I thought that was so cool that they were like such Survivor fans that they're like stalking the Run It Up event.
Yeah, and there's like Survivor's like becomes synonymous with poker too. Like it's such a huge crossover. Everyone knows this, but most people know. If you don't know, now you know. A lot of ex-survivors, and also just game show people just love poker. So
for sure, the current season of Survivor, the one episode was surreal to me. They mentioned poker like 20 times. They said the word poker because on Poker Night in America, they had a Survivor night. I was actually there for it, where Tyson said, hey, if we're ever on this island again, the Poker Alliance, we're going to be this alliance. We'll never vote each other out. But he said it off the cuff. He's like a funny dude. But now they have a winter season where those guys are all on it together, and people, they actually voted off someone based on that. they were just like, yeah, you know, you guys got this poker alliance and everything, so we got to make sure we break up the poker alliance. They said poker like 20 times, and they showed the clip from Poker Night on national mainstream TV, and I was like, whoa. Yeah.
I always feel like it's so cool when our little industry makes it to like mainstream.
I know. It's so cute. I was like, and Stapes was on it. Stapes was hosting the show, so he was like front and center. I'm like, whoa, I'm watching Survivor, and Stapes' face just appears. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now it seems like a good time to give a shout out to our sponsor, Run It Once Poker. They just launched a pretty cool new rewards program called Legends. Every week, you can earn cash rewards that are applied directly to your account. Plus, they still have their popular Splash the Pot feature, which takes some of the rake and throws it right back on the table. With these two features combined, you can get up to 75% total rake back.
If you sign up now through once.run/play, you'll receive a 100% first deposit bonus of up to €600. And a big thank you to our other sponsor, Run It Once Training, the best place to learn from players much better than us. If you sign up through once.run/learn, you'll get free access to 3 of their elite videos, so go check it out.
Oh my God, Crouton.
Aww.
So he's been like attention starved because me and Chris have both been gone for 6 days. And, and we definitely like, I have a rule where I pet Crouton every single time I walk by him. So I was thinking over the course of about a week that he's missing out on like 10,000 pets. He's getting them right now. We had, I know this has been in the news for a while now, the YouTube stuff, that a lot of people's poker videos have been removed with like really no warning at all. They get flagged and then they're just like, they don't get removed, but don't they just get like paused until they investigate? And sometimes it's months.
Sometimes removed, I think. It's a kind of a range. I think even the bike has had some problems with their stream. Mm-hmm. And yes, several poker vloggers, streamers, and it's been happening for months, and it's getting worse, I think. Luckily, I haven't had anything taken down of mine. And I don't have too much information on why that is. I don't think anybody does, but we did think, me and fellow vlogger Johnny Vibes haven't had any issues, and we did realize that we're in a different category. We're actually in the people and blogs category, whereas everyone else is in gaming. But Brad Owen did have, I don't know what happened, but he disproved that theory that it's based on category, so that's not it. We're not sure at this point.
Nimi like has been posting on Instagram that he was like, what? I just spent so much time editing this video, and they just like instantly flagged it. Like he didn't even get to post, or he got a timeout for a week. Yeah. What is that? Are we in like kindergarten?
It's crazy. And no one knows why. We've actually had, I don't know, some people look into it, I think, too. But no one quite knows why. The algorithm. Censored. Oh, is
we're censoring Crouton because, you know, he didn't consent to this.
No.
Okay, dude.
Oh.
Sorry. There you go.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on. But it's tough because I think it just might be some kind of bug in the algorithm, or maybe someone who just hates poker.
That happens more often than you'd think. I know I've looked. One of my friends, his name's Ross. I'm pronouncing his last name wrong, Bibby. But he does a channel that's like all about gambling, and his is like slot machines, and he'll just like go spin high limit slots and talk about it. And he's like a really charismatic dude. And I was just like wanting to peruse the comments just to see, because I'm like, I don't know. I read our comments once in a while, and they're all about Crouton. I'm like happy about that. But then I looked at his, and some of the people are just like crazy. They'll downvote it and be like, gambling's a sin. Like, this is against my religion, and like, how dare you, and stuff like that. And I was like, well, if those people have any power or control, or if they're able to flag videos or like put in requests to YouTube or like complaints or whatever, then like that could be what's happening, that people just hate gambling. And
what's weird is, I don't know, Ryan DePaulo is a poker vlogger, but he does more like casino. He does a lot of like pit games.
Oh, really? I didn't know
slots.
that.
Yeah, it's he calls it Ryan DePaulo Degenerate Gambler. Okay, that's his like name, and
very self-aware.
Yeah, and I would say it's 50% him playing slots, him playing online table games, stuff like that. And I don't know that he's had. Don't quote me on this. I don't think that he's had any problems. So it's weird that they're going after.
The problem. Like,
it's weird. It seems arbitrary.
Be like a set list of rules so that you know how to not violate those rules. Yeah. And if there's no set list, then there has to be a better process than just flagging it and taking it down with like no anything. Like, you can't even defend yourself.
Yeah, it's weird. And Nimi's, if anybody's been doing what he does for so long,
with the same kind of formula.
Yeah. Hasn't really. Yeah. I mean.
So like, why would one get flagged and not another one?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what makes me think it's something in the computer bug and not a person being like, nope, nope, nope. Because if it was a person, they would see Ryan DePaulo being like, yeah, like.
Yeah, gambling's so fun. And yeah.
Yeah. Like, kind of like, you're not supposed to really be filming in the pits either. So, like, it's technically, like, Nimi doesn't film really in the casino, just his cards. And is mostly just kind of like, you know, outside stuff, him talking, drones.
It's so weird, too, that, like, Doug Polk hasn't been active on YouTube in a few months. And he still gets like a ton of residual views from like all his old videos, but he's had a bunch of stuff flagged. And I'm like, why? Like, this has been up for, some things have been up for a year, 2 years, whatever. And it just doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. So I guess we're going to continue to look into it. But there has been some Twitter drama. Jamie Staples initially got some videos taken down as well. Jamie Staples, poker streamer, but he makes some YouTube content, I think.
Second best Jamie in poker. After Jamie Gold.
Good one. So Jamie posted a tweet saying that he just was investigating it, or
he said he had an idea. I was pulling it up. We won't read the tweets because this has been just the thread went on. Whoa, this thing is gonna kill me someday. The thread went on just infinitely too long.
Yeah.
But he said, I think I've got a way to help the poker YouTube community, and ends that with setting some things up and we'll tweet out my plan later, #goodforpoker. So he didn't really go into like what he was going to be doing, but he just said like, it's been bothering him for longer than almost anyone. He was posting about this months ago, about the YouTube problem. And yeah, and what caused some controversy were me and you, like we talked about it a bit and like don't exactly have the same viewpoint. But Ryan Laplante said, my plan at Learn Pro Poker is willing to host poker vloggers for free. For those who want to host their own content, we'll teach them how to do it.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Ryan Laplante is a poker tournament pro and recently started a training site called Learn Pro Poker. And so he kind of stepped in and just kind of said, hey, I will host you guys, anybody who wants to come over to my site and just be hosted there instead of being hosted on YouTube. And, you know, there was a couple notable people in poker who kind of immediately what's the word?
They jumped on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And we're kind of like, hey, bro, basically, I think implying that he's only getting involved for, or maybe not only getting involved, but getting involved for partially promotional reasons, which is understandable. And so there was this kind of like, I don't know, drama, I guess.
Yeah. One of the most known ones was Lex Veldhuis, who came in to just basically, in just a few sarcastic words, which like, I mean, that's always popular with me. If you can just come in and just like lay the hammer down of like just total sarcasm. He goes, willing to host tons of popular, awesome content on your own website for free.
Yeah.
But it's kind of accusatory that's just like, oh, great. Yeah, thanks. You're going to like get all these views for yourself for free. But also, I'm like, I don't know. Like, who knows what Ryan's intent was? But like, he is offering a service if someone wants it, and he's not like pushing it on people.
Yeah, and this is, I guess, and again, you know, I don't know their dynamic. Maybe he knows something we don't know. Also, I don't know how well Lex knows him or whatever. But I think for me, it was kind of tilting because it was just the wording of it. He was like willing to host, and I think that like he never really like owned up to the fact that, hey, I'm actually this would help me out a lot. Like I would actually be any like traction to hit a new training site is great. And so when a big controversy happens like this with some major poker vloggers, I think it could be seen as opportunistic to jump on and then play the card of like,
I'm helping you.
Oh yeah, like I'm just here to help. Whereas like Jamie Staples, for example, doesn't really have anything to gain by looking into it. You know what I mean? Like it's his content being taken down. It's his whatever. Yeah, he promotes like his, you know, a party sponsored pro and has this Twitch stream. But like, I think whatever. But I think that I don't know. It's just like a kind of dicey.
Just say it. I know you want to say something.
No, I think that it's very dicey, but I think that it's one of those things that happens on the internet when you aren't face to face with somebody, and
right,
things can be interpreted different ways.
Right. In this situation, like if Ryan and Lex were in the same room and Ryan was like, hey, I'm willing to host this for free and blah, blah, blah. And Lex would roll his eyes and be like, oh, wow, like, thanks. You're going to get thousands of views and you're willing to do it out of the kindness of your heart. And Ryan would probably say, not out of the kindness of my heart. It's going to help my site immensely. And they'd be like, oh, like conversation over.
And I think that's what it boils down to. And I don't want to put words in Lex's mouth or anybody else, whatever. But from my point of view, that was kind of like the discrepancy was he wasn't in any, and even in the back and forth, he never kind of owned up to like, and in fact, he doubled down on like, I'm helping the community. I'm just helping the community. I'm helping the community. And he never said, hey, yeah, it's gonna be good for me. And I think the moment he said, hey, yeah, it's gonna be good for me, I'm just looking to promote a new training site and get as much traction as I can, which we all know he is. So, you know, I think if he would have, for me, just said that, you know.
I know, but I actually had liked one. I didn't even realize I was involved in this. But Matt Waxman said Ryan followed his statement up with an offer to teach others how to do their own thing without benefiting the site. So like, I feel
followed
like
up it though. That was an initial statement.
No, but that was in the initial one. It was a part of the same tweet.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like he did offer the thing, and if someone was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with the hassle of YouTube, I will give you my views, right? Like someone who's in vlogging knows how it works. So it's not like you're like pulling the wool over someone's eyes who's too stupid to realize that like, oh wait, you're going to benefit from this. I think people are pretty aware, but he also did offer like, okay, like clearly if you don't want to give me all the views and all the, you know, attention, I'll teach you how to host it for free. I feel like that is what neutralized it to me, where I was like, okay, he's doing something that's like slightly opportunistic, but he's also willing to help if like the person doesn't want to help his site.
Yeah, I think again, I don't know specifically Lex or anybody else who have a specific personal relationship with him, but like we didn't see, and you know, I think that I don't want to like make assumptions, but I think that this is kind of something that's maybe a pattern for him where he's constantly, I mean, I don't blame him for this, for promoting his product, but he seems to constantly always be showing up in any place he can to promote his stuff. And I think that maybe he has a reputation. And so when people see him once again, seeing an opportunity to kind of plug his site, plug his stuff, they're kind of like, here we go again.
I know. I just relate because I promote Crouton every time I can. I feel like I find ways to post pictures of him all the time.
You did specifically ask for sleeping animals too.
I did. And it was like, it was because I wanted to post him.
And it was also like, I think you posted that to deflect because there was I think it was like a particularly harsh Poker Twitter day.
Oh,
and
dude,
you were like,
Poker Twitter. It was the day that people were just casually discussing rape and how it matters more to what.
Oh, yeah.
It was
that.
Yeah. So it was a very, very bad day of just everything. And I was like, I'll just post Crouton because I'm looking at Crouton pictures anyway. And then opened up the floor for everyone to post their pictures. I think that might be the most engagement I've ever gotten in my life. I think I had 400 animal pictures.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
I think I put two. And I think one of Spraggy too.
Yeah.
But just to wrap up this topic, I think that, you know, again, I think that like these Twitter battles, especially in the poker sphere, I think that we should all do a little bit less debating on Twitter and a little bit more in real life.
Once it gets out of hand, like once it's past the like pleasantries, like people are no longer being polite at all, it might be time to just have like a quick Skype call or something, because most of the time the people don't hate each other quite as much as it seems, and it becomes such a spectacle on Twitter where you're like, this didn't really have to go that way.
And I think that like what we've like just us discussing it, I think what we've basically agreed on is that like it all comes down to like intent and tone. And you're assuming one intent and tone, and or maybe not but like maybe Lex or whoever is assuming a different based on just it being Twitter.
Yeah.
And
sometimes people are just in a downswing and they're like they want to battle someone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I definitely can relate to that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway,
we have a fun game. I'm pretty excited for the last portion of our pod today.
Yes.
So if anyone hasn't heard of this, it's a thing called Cameo. There's a site where you can go, you can buy someone's like voice message, a video message. You can buy one for yourself. Like I can go on there and be like, like who would be a funny one? Like if I was like, dude, I fucking love Carrot Top. Like he is so hot and I just want a birthday message to myself from Carrot Top. And I could go and probably spend like $12 and get one.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a quiz though, because I was perusing Cameo and came to the poker section and there are 7 poker players on Cameo. And I wanted to give Marle the quiz and see if she could guess.
Yeah, I don't know. So I do not know, but I'm going to guess 7 and you can tell me how many I get right.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Danny Negreanu. I'm going to say Phil Hellmuth. Phil Hellmuth?
Yeah, so no Negreanu. Phil Hellmuth, yep, you got 1.
I'm going to say Antonio Esfandiari.
Yep.
Really?
2.
Wow. I'm going to say, who else would like people like? Oh, Durr?
No.
Oh, Phil
That
Ivey?
would be so funny. No. But Durr would be the funniest one. I would buy that for someone because it would be weird.
Fuck yeah.
It would be so weird.
But I don't think that Durr would do it for any less than like $50K or something.
Yeah,
He's
it would be too ridiculous.
It would be too ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say Jeff Gross.
Yeah, but that's... yeah.
That's amazing.
Who else we got? Is that who you're going to get? Oh, you know what you should do next year? You should get Spraggy a Valentine's message from Jeff Gross. Do it.
That's amazing. They're friends. They're fellow streamers.
Like, hey, Sprags, I just wanted to know if you were feeling the flow on this Valentine's Day.
And he'll be like, no, Marley's had a period last week. We're in the clear. Sorry if that was too far for your listeners at home, but my mind went there. So, all right, who else? I'm trying to think of who else. Maria Ho.
Mm-mm. She could definitely be on there. I feel like people would pay for a message.
I'm going to try to think of who I would most like one from. I would most like one from... God, I got to think. I would most like one... Oh, I probably most like one... Oh, God.
It's such a hard decision.
It's so fucking hard.
Can I name one on the list so that I can tell? Because this is someone you definitely want one from. Norman Chad.
Oh, no!
Right? He would be so funny.
That's
he's so grumpy
great.
and he'd just be like, happy birthday, I guess. Like, yeah.
It's great. Mm-hmm. Oh, I would never have guessed him. All right, who else is it? Should I keep guessing? I can't think of who.
It depends how long you want this segment to be.
I know. I'm trying to think of who would I most like.
You only have 1, 2, 3 left. You did a good job.
I mean, I think I'd most like one from Durr, but that would never happen.
Aw, we could just ask nicely.
Please just be happy birthday.
Please, Marle needs it. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Madisau.
Oh, yeah.
That would be funny.
That makes sense.
That would be funny to send to someone like Galfond. He's just like, why are you doing this?
That's amazing.
And then we got Joe Hashem.
Oh.
And Jonathan Little.
Oh, okay. I would have not guessed the last 2. That's solid.
Yeah. Joe Hashem has stayed like incredibly famous in other countries. So like he still is like well known in the US, but apparently he's like a really big celebrity in like Australia and
He
stuff.
doesn't do too many US events, does he?
I think probably just the World Series.
The World Series. Like I don't see him.
Yeah.
So I think he's just mostly doing the, that's cool. Yeah, he seems like a really good ambassador. Or I don't know. He's stayed pretty he seems like a pretty decent guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And also he looks younger every year. It's weird.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd do what would we do for?
I want Marle to do her best cameo right now. Like if I paid $15 for, I don't want really like a birthday wish. I'll take a Valentine's wish.
Okay. Hey, Jamie. I have no idea what you look like, but I could just tell you're really turning me on.
We have to get you on Cameo. You should do exclusively sex line voice. Be like, listen, it doesn't matter if it's just like, hey,
bat
baby.
mitzvah. I'm like,
exactly. It's gonna get
I
real
know
weird.
You're 13.
Yeah. Chris Hansen
really
pops out. He's like, or just like, I want to do one where I'm like, hey, baby, I'm sorry for your loss.
I know your wife died, but
oh my god.
But you know what? I was thinking about you last night.
This is great. I mean, if you're not on Cameo, you could definitely be making bank. I mean, you're gonna. I would hire you over almost all of these people. Norman Chad still takes the top spot, but after
he's
him,
amazing. Yeah. Well, you're friends with Norman, so we should ask him what the dish is with Cameo. You know, how often he gets it.
They probably take a Rake from your Cameo, but I think if you did the sex line voice exclusively, no matter what the occasion, you'd be very popular on there.
That's. I think I have a good idea for my next vlog, actually.
You're just hustling Cameo the whole time. You're just like, oh my God, I have 10 horny dudes I need to talk to today. And your mom's like, what? That's like, you call home and tell your dad, you're just like, listen, I have a bunch of horny dudes I need to talk to. And so I got to go. And he'd just be like, what? I thought she was playing poker. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. My poor dad, he watches all my content. Sometimes it makes me cringy to think about it, but he knows that it's all in good fun.
Oh, my mom doesn't know that. She'll like hit me up. There were once or twice like she hit me up right after I tweeted something. She's like, what is this? What if you wanted to be a lawyer again? And I'm like, spoiler, I don't.
Oh, she's playing on.
Oh yeah. There was one, it was so innocent too. It was just from Super Troopers. They go littering and smoking the reefer. And so I did twittering and like just posted that when I was like very high. And she just like instantly calls. She's like, what is this? I'm just like, Mom, I'm too high for this.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
On that note,
on the note of disappointing our parents, this has been a nice pod. And we'll see you guys soon.
See you guys later.